Hey guys, welcome to Whiskey Throttle Media, and we're here today riding the 2024 Yamaha YZ250f. This is their 50th anniversary edition. It's got the retro graphics. Obviously still comes in blue as well, but pretty cool livery for their 50th anniversary. And this bike isn't just different looking, it's also got quite a few changes. And for those wondering, and I was one of them for a while, is this going to get the complete engine revision that the 450 got? And it's not. It got some really specific updates. This is a very potent engine. It's been best in class for years, and they've made some changes that do improve it and do improve reliability, which is much needed, and we'll talk about that. But the changes made on the 450 engine, that complete revision, obviously that's an expensive move. You got to completely retool. Everything has to be done. And that was really geared at weight savings. And that wasn't as critical on the 250, they felt, so they just went with some revisions on this one. It's not the complete engine change that the 450 got, but this is the same chassis. So same frame as the 450 now, obviously all the bodywork and things that go along with it. So let's have a look at the specific changes this bike got for 24. All right, so this thing got some updates to the engine. It's got a different air cleaner joint with increased volume. The air box and top cover have a new shape, and they have an increased volume capacity. And also the air filter itself has a different shape and just increases the volume inside of it. One of the big changes this year comes in the form of reliability, and that's the cam chain. It's just been changed to improve durability and reliability. It's wider and stronger, and the sprocket width is increased on the camshaft and crankshaft. The tensioner is optimized to work along with that, and chain dampers are increased as well in width. On top of that, you've got an electrical system upgrade. The ECU has obviously different settings to go with all the changes they made, and it's compatible with their Yamaha power tuner, so that's helpful. Okay, so on the frame itself, let's talk a little bit about that. It's got aluminum components, 10 different pieces, forged, cast, and extruded. Tank rail, the head pipe joint has been lowered 15 millimeters. The tension pipe lowered at down tube 15 millimeters. It's got increased rigidity on the down tube, swing arm pivot, and foot peg cross member. The lower engine bracket has different shape and material, from 8 mil to aluminum to 5 mil step steel plates. And then two 8 by 135 mil through bolts make the engine more of a frame stress member. So just a little bit of change in the way that works. Obviously the forks and shock have been updated to work in conjunction with this chassis. There's also some refinements to the rear axle. The inner diameter went from 20 to 20.5 millimeters. And rear brake line is new, improving controllability. So the weight has also been altered. 200 grams on the foot peg brackets, steel to aluminum, so we lost some weight there, and improved clearance for mud. The chain guide is lighter by 80 grams. Throttle cables rather, are lighter by 60 grams. The fuel pump's 200 grams lighter. The rear axle, 30 grams lighter. So they're doing what they can to try to really bring the weight down on the bike. And then obviously all the changes to just the bodywork, the seat. It's got the same look and feel of the 450. So the seat, just the feel of the bike, it's slimmer. Got a racier feel to it, a little bit firmer feeling to me. And overall, you know, a lot of those feel changes that the 450 got have been passed along to this bike as well. So what did we think of it on the track? What did all these changes do? I can tell you a couple things. This thing had not been ridden. They did some dyno braking on it, but the suspension itself had not been on the track yet, and so it was very stiff when we got it. So if you get one of these and it feels just really firm, that's normal. Don't panic. Let it break in. By the end of the day, it really changed the way it felt. And I did go a bit softer front and rear, and I'll go over that. We're gonna have a race spec video that'll come out when we get some more time on this and give you guys a good starting point. But just know that's pretty standard. I don't think it's anything to worry about. It comes around, just it's firm when it's new. The engine, honestly, the changes are pretty subtle. They were going for a little bit more middle to top. And what I did find is you can run a gear out a little further than this thing went last year. A couple straightaways here where, you know, when you're right in between second and third, you don't want to get that shift and have to shift right back down, so you just leave it. This thing continues to pull really high up into the RPMs. And when I say pull, it doesn't just go flat, like it'll still keep pulling. And it sounds like the whole engine's gonna come blowing out of the top of the motor, but it just keeps pulling. It's got a really broad power. And I think with this downdraft engine design, which is patented, they already have the best throttle response and low end power. So by increasing that middle to top, it just really expands the breadth of this engine. It's very, very usable, very broad, and easy to go fast on because you can be in a little too low of a gear or let it rev and it still works. Just very, very easy to ride. Everything else on this thing was comfortable. The brakes, the foot pegs, it's got a really nice foot peg platform. The seat, again, a lot like the 450, it's very round. So there isn't like two sharp corners with a flat spot on top. The whole seat feels rounded. And when you sit on it, if you haven't ridden the new 450, it's gonna feel a little odd. I'm not gonna lie to you. It feels like you're gonna fall off the bike. But what it does once you get used to it is allows you to just roll in and out of turns very easily. Your butt kind of just slides right to the place it needs to be on that edge of the seat without having to kind of roll over one of those corners. So give yourself a little time. If it seems odd to you at first, you'll get used to it and it's nice. This comes with MX33 tires, which worked great. Obviously, having now ridden with MX34s, I would lean towards those for myself, but this is still a really good tire, good platform, and everything about it worked great. I'm excited to get a little more time on this thing, just to see if we can fine tune little things. I know some guys said the back end felt a little fast. So it's interesting to hear listening guys today talk about their feel of the bike. It was a little bit different than things I was feeling. So we need to get some different tracks underneath it and really get a good feel for what it does in different conditions. And we'll get back to you with a cool race spec video that'll have some good starting points for you when you pick one of these up. Shouldn't be too long before they're in your dealers, so if you are liking the look of this or you like the blue one, you just want to get the updated model, stay tuned. They will be in your Yamaha dealer very soon. And I cannot recommend this thing enough. If you're on a 250, this is the one to be on. It's won every shootout. It's won all of the major professional championships for the most part. Very, very competitive bike. So check them out. And thank you guys for watching. We appreciate Yamaha for having us out. And stay tuned for our race spec video where we give you some good starting points. See you guys.